to you guys want to complain about the Salem, you guys want to complain about the Salem witch trials, and that's because in the Bible it specifically says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." There is nothing like that in evolution. There's nothing in the genetic code that says, "Thou shalt dislike the person whose color is different from yours." It doesn't work that way. You're comparing a scientific understanding of the diversity of life with a book that explicitly says to kill people. And you're saying, wow, to me?
Well, I'm yet to see where it says in the New Testament, you know, not the Old Testament, New Testament, because we're under a new covenant, where it says to kill people that are witches. Now, you
okay.
A concrete answer. So I thank you very much, and I hope you never again use mockery as far as Salem witch trials go in your argument.
William, I'm getting ready to mock you mercilessly.
Go for it.
Why on earth do you just want to toss out the Old Testament? That's where your creation myth comes from. That's where original sin comes from. Was your God just wrong in all of the Old Testament when he sanctioned slavery and the killings? Was he a psychopath who got better in the New Testament? Why do you get to throw out the majority of your book because it's inconvenient for you?
No, it's not, and I can argue it too, because first of all, in the Old Testament, not all men was under the covenant. We had atonement. God was our atonement, so everything was free. You could kill someone because there was no law. We are under law now.
Wow, that's absolutely bizarre. So if anybody who wasn't under your God's law, it wasn't wrong for them to kill. But what I'm asking is, your God specifically sanctioned slavery and murder.
No, he didn't. How?
Exodus 21. Have you not read it? It specifically tells you who you can enslave and who you can't, and how much to pay for them, and that you can beat them as long as they don't die. He specifically ordered Moses to run around slaughtering people, along with Joshua and pretty much everybody else of the barbarian Jews who ran around slaughtering anybody that got in their path. Your God, according to the Bible that you like, or not the part that you like, because you only like the New Testament, but in the Old Testament, your God specifically sanctioned those things, including slaughtering entire peoples and keeping all the virgin girls for yourselves.
You know, those arguments right there, I've argued so long. You could go for days just arguing because it's all context. You have to take it in the right context.
Okay, so you're saying there's some context in which it's okay to own slaves, beat slaves, slaughter people, and rape virgins. There's a context for that?
Let's take one at a time. Which is your argument? Is it beat slaves, own slaves? Which one is it?
We'll start with a simple one. Owning another human being as property. What is the context in which that's okay?
In the Old Testament, owning slaves was not the same as beating them like that.
Wrong.
Wrong, William.
William, shut up. The question was, owning people as property, what makes it moral?
Well, what makes it immoral if your viewpoint, if your standpoint is from no morality?
I'm sorry. You're the one who's here. You're the one who said you could defend this, that there was a context. You don't get to divert by asking broader questions about morality. I'm asking you, what is the context by which you justify the biblical authorization to own other people as property? You said there was context. I want to know what it is.
Okay, well, like I said, back then, if you did not have money to support yourself, people offered themselves as slaves for work.
This is not about indentured servitude. This is about owning people as property. Word for word, what is the context that I'm missing?
Well, first of all, okay, I want to know how you feel that is wrong.
Hey, William, goodbye. Done. I'll let you take the next one. I'm gonna have a drink. Sorry, you don't get to toss out the majority of your holy book because it's inconvenient. Then claim that you can defend it, and claim that I'm wrong because there's some context that makes it right, and then lie about what it actually says. You're either ignorant of what your book says, or you are lying to make excuses for it. And all your diversions about morality, I don't have time to give you a lecture on morality. You can go Google superiority of secular morality and hear what I actually have to say about it, and we can actually have discussions. But I think you're being incredibly dishonest, because I think we both agree, like almost everybody on the fucking planet, that owning another human being as property that you can pass to your kids is immoral, and yet your book sanctions it. And by the way, killing witches, immoral. The same thing about if a man lies with a man as he lies with a woman, they've committed abomination and are deserving to be put to death. Also immoral. Your book is a cavalcade of immorality. It is a nightmarish parade through your God's failures and bloodlust. And the fact that you want to just chuck all of that inconvenience aside, hang on to original sin, the Ten Commandments, and Jesus, makes you an idiot on that subject. No two ways about it. This is not just an ad hominem, oh, he just called me an idiot instead of addressing my argument. No, I did both. Your argument is stupid, and you're stupid for trying to offer it. You don't know what you're talking about.